Hello viewers, today we are here sitting with Dr. P Bose. Dr. Bose is a very well-known pulmonologist. He's a specialist and he has been a resident of CR Park for the past more than 30 years. Dr. Bose is now currently heading the medical facility for Kalimunda Society with the name of Arogya. Today we are here with Dr. Bose to understand how we can combat the pollution around us and how we can take care of ourselves with some very basic breathing exercises and some interventions. Hello
everybody. We had a very bad time for the maybe for the last month or so, and I could see a little sunshine back. So air quality is little improved, but one thing is very important is that if you are not careful about your respiratory system, you can be little vulnerable. This is the time when the winter comes, the air quality becomes a little poor, and since the wind speed comes down, becomes very sluggish, the air sucks. And let me tell you, viewers, that two important things one should be very careful. There are so many reasons for pollution, as you know, but the most important thing which is bad for your respiratory system, the small tiny particles, what we call PM 2.5. It's called particulate matter 2.5, which are very fine. This could be indoor dust mite, this could be pollens, this could be dust, the pollution from the vehicular emissions and all. And you will find these are very fine. They float around, and you have to be careful about this 2.5, because the large pollutants you can still manage with your good respiratory protections, but we have to be careful about this. So if you don't take care of your upper respiratory system, so you become a vulnerable for the lower respiratory system. One of the reasons you find the elderly people getting a lot of pneumonias and lower respiratory tract infection, because they don't take care of the upper respiratory system. And upper respiratory system becomes little vulnerable in this kind of weather because of the very tiny particulate matter. So when we talk about taking care of the respiratory system, the most important thing is that cleansing of the upper respiratory system. Now, what is cleansing? Because of the fine and air quality being so bad, because of so many factors, as you know, pyrali, the vehicular permeations, the wind speed, and so many other factors. The first thing in the morning, you should use some saline douche to take care of the upper respiratory. Now, there are two ways you can do a saline douche. One is the regular isotonic saline bottles are available, which you can push. It's like a conical bottle. They have got a little system of pushing the saline into your system. But they are really more expensive. But those who are a little vulnerable, I'll recommend them that you should use. This is called isotonic saline. So isotonic saline, that means the saline which suits your own body saline. That is very important. But the second important thing which you can help us to clean your upper respiratory system, you can do good steaming, unless and until you are contraindicated. Normally, steaming is contraindicated those who have some skin allergy issues or have recent eye surgeries, and otherwise it's a very safe thing. But normally I recommend that when you take the steam, use it as a aromatherapy. Put some tea bags and make it more aromatic. Don't use anything else, because then steam is also a way which can help you to clean your upper respiratory.
So this can be done in the morning?
Morning in the same, because morning is the time when when the temperature is little low, so you have smog there. So evening and morning are too important, because morning is a must, because morning you're going to a workplace, and evening normally you settle at home. So more important you do in the morning, because to take care of the upper respiratory system. This is number two. Number three is that even steam will not able to take care of the finer pockets of the sinus. Sinus is a very complicated structures, and the God has designed the sinuses basically to filter most of the particles. Plus, also it has got a role of humidification. Humidification means it makes the cold air hot and hot air cold. Plus, it releases certain nitrous oxide, so that it acts as a check valve against pollutions. So sinus hygiene is a very important part of taking care of your respiratory system. And normally we have many sinuses, but the two most important sinuses which is relevant for this point, this kind of weather, is one is the frontal sinus, the what you call the kapal area. Another is the cheek area, what you call the maxillary sinuses. So very simple technique, which is very yogic and Vedic times, is there for years. What is called Jalniti. You can do it much simpler way. This is called nasal wash. There is a small bottle, put some RO water, and you can use some what you call rock salt, which is affordable, because normally standard saline solutions are also available. They are more expensive. Put some rock salt, shake the bottle, make it a little lukewarm. So only thing you have to squeeze the bottle, hold the breath, and it comes out from the other system, because our both the nasal passages are interconnected. So if you follow this rule of cleansing in the form of nasal saline, steam and nasal wash, so the least what you can do in your wash area, you can have a steam pot and a nasal wash bottle, which is, I think, which is very much doable. And by doing these two things, you can take care of a respiratory. This is about thing. Third thing, what is important is that usually the pollutants get into the back of your throat. So gargling is very important. And normally we recommend those who are really sick, those who are high vulnerable, we recommend to do for iodine gargle. But otherwise, you can use the black tea as a gargle. The steam which you are using tea bag, the same water can be used for gargle. So there are so many advantages of tea. Has got a lot of antioxidant properties. It is an anti-inflammatory also, so you can do a gargle. And try to, when you do a gargle, use your throat as a little conical bottle, hold it, count your fingers, try to hold 20, and so if you do 1 2 3, clean your upper respiratory system, steam and gargle. That is more important. Then very important thing is that then comes the breathing technique. The first and foremost breathing techniques, normally we say that you have to understand that our lung is like a slinky. You know what is a slinky? Like a spring back phenomenon. It springs back. And that you have to maintain throughout your life. The fitness of a human being is the how elastic is your lung. So that means the slinky behavior of the lung is very important, and everybody should be practicing. Otherwise, and if your lung is healthy, you are healthy and you're young. So, but what happens as we grow older because of this pollution and those who have been having some other chronic issues like smoking, etc., and chronic asthma, their elastic properties of the lung become little weak. It is something like putting some, when you put a sponge in a water, it becomes a little soaky and hard. So the first thing you have to see is that in the breathing techniques, try to improve the slinky behavior, the elasticity of the lungs. Now, how can you improve the elasticity of the lungs? As I told you, it's like squeeze. So always remember the breathing has got two components, in and out. In is not important, out is important. When you breathe out more, that means you're squeezing the lung more. When you squeeze more, you suck more. Now watch me. Now I'll teach you the three basic things. Everybody should be doing it. Now, as I told you, imagine this is my lung. Once I'm done with my cleansing, upper respiratory, then sinus cleansing and throat and all, like lung is like something like a very straight organ sitting on a cushion we call diaphragm. Diaphragm is the lower portion of the lungs. It's a diaphragm, the sit of the lungs. And we normally divide our torso into upper and lower torso. Below is an abdomen. So the most powerful organ of the body which controls our respiratory system is the diaphragm. And it's if you can improve some diaphragmatic breathing, you squeeze the lung more. So your effort should be to do certain squeezing techniques. The first thing is that very simple, elderly people, you don't have to do any aggressive exercise. What this is called pursed lip breathing. Now, what is pursed lip breathing? Is also called the batua breathing. Purse is like ladies' purse, you must have seen. You can pout your lips, lower lip, like this, the way you whistle out. Then watch me. Take slowly, take deep breath. When you whistle, what happens? You create certain positive pressure in the lungs. The elasticity of the lung improves. The trapped air also they come out. Very simple. Everybody can do it sitting on the sunshine. This is called pursed lip breathing. Like this. Anybody can do it. I think whistling, everybody know how to do it. You understand? So you have to pout the lower lip. This is very important. Secondly, what you call diaphragmatic breathing. Put one hand here. Normally, always you remember, when you breathe in, the diaphragm goes down, belly goes in. When you breathe out, diaphragm goes up and belly goes out. You understand? So what happens? So this you have to follow in diaphragmatic breathing is that you put one hand, do a little reclining position, take a deep breath, hold it, then pout your lips and press the lower hand upward into the diaphragm as if you're squeezing a balloon slowly. You understand? I'll repeat again. Sit in the reclining position. This you can do anywhere. Take a deep breath. I'm holding it for some time, maybe count few seconds or more. Then it is something like I'm squeezing a balloon. So these are two important. Then of course, then you have to go a little power breathing. Now power breathing is that I have to develop the slinky behavior of the lungs. So now what has that? I'm nurturing the lungs to make it more elastic. It is something like if you want to bring the elasticity in a rubber, you have to little stretch it every year, not too much for the right. So this is what you call diaphragmatic breathing, or in colloquial language is also called the skull shine breathing, called kapal bhati. Kapal means that gives you more oxygenation. That's why it's called the skull shining breathing. So your skull is shining. So now watch me, very simple. After you're done with your pursed lip and your diaphragmatic breathing, just watch me. The very important thing why I see people do wrong, you should be very focused. Not in the middle of the phone you're doing it, because this area, if it gets hurt, then it really your everything is gone. Because this is something like an orchestra. The lung is it's like a symphony. You have to follow the symphony. So when you talk of Kapalbhati, the first important thing is your posture. You should not slouch. You should be straight. You understand? Your spine should be straight. You should be up and alert. You understand? So once signed this, then the lung is comfortable sitting on your diaphragm. The second thing is that focus, because it's not the force, it is a vector, the direction of the force. If your vector is not right, then you will hit wrong ways. So first thing is that focus your third eye, because we breathe from the brain, neck brain, what is called the brain stem. Focus your third eye and feel the breath at the level of the nose. The upper portion of the lip we call philtrum is upper lip. When you breathe in, it's cool. When you breathe it, you can feel it. Put a finger, you can feel it. When you breathe, it's cool. When you breathe out, it's warm, because carbon is warm. Try to feel the temperature changes at level of the philtrum upper lip. Now watch me what I'm doing. So I'm trying to you know create a resonance between my focusing here and the breath here. So when you focus your mind, there may be certain thoughts coming in. Let it come. You can identify a word which is very dear to you, like for example your parents, your spiritual guru, maybe Indian, like Om. So keep feeling Om in your mind and breath. This you should be doing 5-10 seconds. So that means your respiratory system has come to a kind of eco speed. Now you're ready to do that skull shining, what you call Kapalbhati. Now you see, now once I'm done with this focus, and you see, this is what I'm trying to show you. See how I'm sitting. My lungs are straight, my spine is straight. Look, we are experienced people. We are into these breathing techniques for years. But initial people, they should do the batch of 20. But those who are experienced, they can go for 50, 60 and all those things. I think the batch of 20 will be a good number. Now, one thing you have noticed when I'm doing my Kapalbhati, you see my only torso at the lower level is moving. My whole chest is not shaking. When you see the people around, because most of the people are misguided, even those who are teaching them, they also are not very fit. So people do in the wrong way. So first thing is that they should learn these techniques from the person who understands and who is practicing those fitnesses. So if you are not focused, then what happens? The whole chest will shake. Shaking of the whole chest is very risky. That means it puts a load on the heart. So just watch me. I'll repeat here. You see, I put my 4 fingers down. Just watch me. You see, only my lower torso is moving. So that means lower torso is the diaphragm, because when you squeeze the ball, it has to be the lower diaphragm. So this is Kapalbhati, skull shining breathing. Once you're done with this Kapalbhati, then can people with blood pressure do it? Yeah, you should be doing it. Okay. Absolutely. Look what happens. Why you should be doing diaphragmatic breathing? Because normally we have got two groups of muscles. One is called skeletal muscle and the smooth muscles. Skeletal muscles is your finger muscles, shoulder muscles. You can do push-ups, you do regular gym and all. You can develop your skeletal muscles. I can develop a very good chest muscle, my shoulder muscle. But the one which is visceral muscles, like the heart muscles, the diaphragm muscles, the intestine muscles, they cannot be developed by doing certain specific activities. So you need specific exercise. So skull shining is a very good method of developing your smooth muscles, which is not a skeletal muscles. So you are developing, and what happens once you develop the diaphragmatic contractility? First of all, you're nurturing the lungs. Or remember, if you have a healthy lung, you have a healthy heart. Why? Because I told you, our cardiorespiratory works in symphony. If you're breathing, one, you will be beating 4. Right. Normally this is what we teach in CPR. So If your heart rate is 72, you should be breathing around, 1/4 of 72. You understand? That comes to around 12, 13, 14. You got it? If you are breathing 30, then your heart rate becomes 120. You understand? So people who are hyperventilating, anxious, restless, they are like rabbits. They are fast sympathetic breathers. But you have to learn to breathe like a tortoise, slow and deep. That's why they live for so many years. They live for 300 years. That's why, in my one, a lot of articles you'll find in through resources. So that's why I said you breathe like a tortoise and live like a saint. Rabbit is much more energetic. He lives for only 1 year and 2 years, and see a tortoise he lives for only 300-400 years. So and that's you have to understand why they are, because they are not only breathing, they are eating their breath and also breathing their breath. So you have to eat your breath also. So it's breathing is a technique, and that is the only way you can develop fitness. People, those who are energetic, those fit, why they are fit? Because they're consuming their breath, law of conservation of energy. If I if I pant, so what will happen? I'll get fatigue. But if you take large breath, more breath, so you will consume more energy. You will be energetic through the day, and you will feel youngish. You will be much alert, up and alert. This is number one. So again, I'll repeat: start with cleansing, do steaming, use nasal douche, nasal wash, do gargling, and everything can be done in a very indigenous local. You don't have to buy things for it. Then try to practice mindfulness. Don't jump into doing a breathing techniques, because breathing system is something like a very sensitive system, because they are in symphony. It's like a good music. You cannot disturb the orchestra of the music. If one person gets out of the symphony, the whole music is bad. You got it? It's like a symphony. You have to understand. Everybody is there paying in their own, resonance. So if you really want to enjoy the symphony and put it at a high level, you have to do its mindfulness. That's why I said not mindfulness. It is from mindfulness to mindfulness, from FULL to FUL. That means how you can delete your thoughts, and that is the only way you can. When you focus your third eye, delete your minds, relax, then you come to your skull shining. So what I do now, Bhastrika, is that I use the lung as a bellow, and I'll play like a harmonium. You got it? So what I'll do, I'll use as a bellow and squeeze as if I'm slowly squeezing the air out of the lungs. So what will happen? It will act as a little effective bellow. So watch me. Again, you have to, again, these are very difficult breathings. People randomly do it. So again, you have to sit straight, relax, practice mindfulness, go for Kapalbhati, then you're ready. The lung is ready now. Now you watch me. I'm doing a batch of 20. So what I'm doing, I'm using my lung as a bellow, using high pressure recoil, and that opens up all the pores, even your sinuses, respiratory. So these basic things, if you do it, if you practice mindfulness, if you do pulse sleeping, if you do Kapalbhati, if you do this, what you call the Bhastrika or bellow breathing, and of course, sinus cleansing and gel niti, I think you're done. I think you will add life to years instead of adding years to life.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bose. It was an amazing session, and I'm sure our viewers and our residents will really benefit from this video.
Yeah, just practice. It's not very difficult. Only thing you need a little effort on a daily basis. It's doable. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Bose.